A poll by the National Law Journal shows Perry Mason sits just behind attorney F. Lee Bailey as the most admired lawyer in the world. Despite being fictional, he gave a positive picture of what a lawyer should be. The Perry Mason series ran from 1957 to 1966 and spawned several TV movies. It was based on a series of novels by lawyer and author Earl Stanley Gardner. It was one of the first hour-long TV shows to ever air and most successful law shows of all time. Each Perry Mason cast member served as part of the show's success. They created memorable personas who were crucial to solving each case. Keep watching to learn how each Perry Mason cast member died. Raymond Burr. Raymond William Stacey Burr was born in New Westminster, British Columbia on May 21, 1917. After his parents divorced when he was 6, he grew up in Vallejo near his grandfather's small hotel. Raymond went to Hollywood in 1946 and made his film debut in San Quentin. His imposing appearance left him typecast in villain roles for some time, one of the most memorable of which was in Rear Window. He also appeared in films such as A Place in the Sun, A Cry in the Night, The Adventures of Don Juan, and Tomorrow Never Comes. His big break was his role as the titular lawyer in Perry Mason. He was also famous for starring as the wheelchair-bound detective in Ironside. Edward P. Burke, executive director of the National Council on Disabilities, called Ironside a tremendous inspiration. Raymond's longtime friend Melvin Belli, a San Francisco lawyer, said he did more for the law than anyone else by showing that right will always win in the end. Ray's first wife, Annette Sutherland, died in a 1943 plane crash. He divorced his second wife, Isabel Ward, and lost his third wife, Laura Morgan, to cancer in 1955. He lost his only child, Michael Evan Burr, to leukemia at age 10 in 1953. Despite these tragedies, Perry Mason cast member Don Galloway said Ray's philosophy was to leave the world greater than you found it. Raymond Burr died of liver cancer at his Northern California ranch at age 76. Ray Collins. Ray Collins was born December 10, 1889, in Sacramento. His desire to become an actor began when he saw his uncle, Ulrich Collins, in a performance of Way Down East. He put on plays with his fellow neighborhood kids and made his professional stage debut at age 13 at the Liberty Playhouse in Oakland, California. He earned over 900 stage roles throughout his career. Ray set up a vaudeville team with his first wife, Margaret Marriott, in December 1912. They performed at the Alhambra Theater in Seattle until moving to Vancouver with their son Junius in 1914. Ray joined a stock company called Vancouver's Popular Players at the Orpheum Theater and ran his own stock company for 5 years at the Empress Theater. He continued to work in vaudeville and eventually found his way to New York. When the Great Depression began, he turned his focus to radio. He completed 18 broadcasts a week and worked up to 16 hours a day. This extreme work schedule may have harmed his relationships. He divorced Margaret in 1924 and married Joan Huron in 1926. He met Orson Welles in 1935 while working on his first radio job as part of the repertory cast of the American School of the Air. He became part of his Mercury Theater, worked with him on the Cavalcade of America for 6 years, and appeared in his version of Les Miserables in 1937, and The Shadow from 1937 to 38. One of his best-known appearances was playing 3 different roles in War of the Worlds. Orson Welles gave him his film debut in the acclaimed Citizen Kane. Ray appeared in 75 films after that. In 1960, Ray's physical health and memory began to decline. He blamed the change on shifting from the stage to radio, where he no longer had to memorize lines. Ray's final Perry Mason episode, The Case of the Capering Camera, aired on January 16, 1964. Producers insisted his name remain in the title sequence because he still watched the show every week. He died on July 11, 1965 of emphysema in Santa Monica, California at age 75. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Keep watching to learn about the careers of the rest of the Perry Mason cast. Wesley Lau. Wesley Lau was born June 18, 1921, in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. He appeared on Perry Mason as client Amory Fallon in 1961. He then permanently joined the cast as Lieutenant Andy Anderson to replace Ray Collins as Lieutenant Arthur Tragg. The character was not part of the original Perry Mason novels, but appeared in 82 episodes and lasted until the 8th season finale. Wesley disagreed with certain aspects of the role. He wanted to inject humor into it, but the script usually called for his character to give suspicious looks. He and his wife didn't like the hat he wore, so he slipped it off as often as possible. The public continued to overlook Wesley, but the show's crew appreciated his contribution. Producer Gail Patrick Jackson even considered him to play the lead in a future Earl Stanley Gardner crime series. Wesley Lau died of heart failure on August 30th, 1984, at age 63. Richard Anderson. Richard Anderson was born in 1926 in Long Branch, New Jersey. His family moved to L.A. when he was 10. He studied at the Actors Laboratory after graduating from University High School and serving for 17 months in the Army during World War II. He began his career with MGM in the mailroom. He was working on an NBC show called Lights, Camera, Action in 1949 and got a phone call to come in for a screen test. That led to a 6-year contract and 30 films. A few examples include The Magnificent Yankee, Scaramouche, Escape from Fort Bravo, and Forbidden Planet. Richard later moved to Fox and appeared in The Long Hot Summer in 1958. He played Oscar Goldman on the $6 Million Man TV show, TV films, and spin-off The Bionic Woman from 1978 to 1994. This made him the first actor to play the same character on 2 TV series running at the same time on 2 different networks. Richard was a major TV figure in the 60s. He played Richard Kimball in the 2-episode finale of The Fugitive, Police Chief George Untermeyer on Dan August, and Police Lieutenant Steve Drum on the final season of Perry Mason. Richard was married twice, first to Carol Lee Ladd and next to Catherine Thalberg. He had 3 daughters, Ashley, Brooke, and Diva. Richard Anderson died of natural causes at his Beverly Hills home at the age of 91. William Tallman. William Tallman was born in Detroit. He founded the drama club at the Cranbrook School in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, and acted while studying at Dartmouth and the University of Michigan. After college, he joined a stock company to begin his stage acting career. He played District Attorney Hamilton Berger on Perry Mason. William said in a 1958 interview that although his character lost all but 3 of his cases, it's not technically a loss when a DA fails to convict an innocent man, and he always acted in the interest of justice. William was the first Hollywood actor to film an anti-smoking PSA for the American Cancer Society. He had been a heavy smoker all his life and was dying of lung cancer while filming. He began with the words, "Before I die, I want to do what I can to leave a world free of cancer for my 6 children." Per his request, the commercial wasn't aired until William Tallman died on August 30th, 1968, at age 53. William Hopper. William Hopper was the only child of Hollywood columnist Hedda Hopper. He played Detective Paul Drake on Perry Mason. He was with the show from its debut in 1957 until his death. He appeared in 3 films in 1937, including Footloose Heiress, Over the Goal, and Torchy Blane, The Adventurous Blonde. He also earned a role in The Track of the Cat in 1954. William Hopper died of a heart attack on March 6, 1970, at age 54, after being hospitalized for 2 weeks. Barbara Hale. Barbara Hale was born in DeKalb, Illinois in 1922 as the second child of Willa and Luther Hale. She spent her early career under contract with RKO. She appeared in films like Higher and Higher, Lady Luck, and Far Horizons. Barbara played Della Street in 9 seasons of Perry Mason and 30 TV movies based on the series. She earned a Primetime Emmy Award for the role in 1959 and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1960. She died of natural causes, surrounded by family and friends at her home in Sherman Oaks, California, at age 94. Now it's time to hear from you. Which Perry Mason actor or actress was your favorite? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts Verse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.